welcome to this week's episode of Ask Mark. We got a couple questions. One of the answers is going to be fairly long, so we're going to get right into it. And we got no quirky little introductions this week, so getting right into it. This first question is from the Demon King. So he's been asking a lot of good questions lately, so that's why I've kind of been getting him in every week. So he asks, when can we expect to see customized control options? So I guess what you're referring to is button mapping.
So priority, as it always been for the last little bit, is getting more controllers to you guys.
Yeah.
Supporting more wheels, supporting more joysticks, more game pads, etc. We want. I did see a prototype of the button mapping
A while ago,
a while back. It's not polished, not locked down, so it's not coming to you guys soon. But I have seen it.
Yeah.
So we have tested it and played with it. But right now, game pads and tune as many as we can for you guys.
Cool. All right. Next question is from Vimonese. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. He said, and this is an interesting question. I really like this one. He asks, how does Mark tweak the cars? So this is the long.
Here's all the golden secrets. So I've been tweaking cars
forever
since the end of the Hot Pursuit 2.
Yeah.
So pre-production of Underground 1, and basically that physics engine to today's, has been evolving with a little bit of my feedback, obviously. So keep it short.
Don't keep it too short. These guys want to know.
I know. So this thing, I could talk to you guys for days about this, but try to keep it within context of minutes. It all starts with obviously the physics engine. It's been an evolution with my input for over the last decade. I know the system inside and out. So we have multiple attributes based on brakes, transmission, engine, aerodynamics, you name it. All the different parts of the car, we've broken it down, and we have multiple attributes per region. So what I do is I always start with the manufacturer's data. We basically have very good relationships, say with BMW, Lamborghini, and Porsche, Chevy, all of them, right? So we work hand in hand. We say, okay, you know what? We're bringing Corvette to the community. Give us the data. So they'll give me the actual CAD data, which is what our artists make the car off of. I get the wheelbase, front axle widths, front track, rear track, the weight, basically all the stock, the suspension, everything. I input it into my database. Once the car has all the attributes into it, I get it onto our in-game dyno right away. There I tune the horsepower.
So this is a debug dyno that nobody has access to.
Exactly. So this is not pretty. It's just like a matrix of numbers that I spit out. I'm looking at 0 to 60 times. I'm looking at 100 mile per hour times. I'm looking at quarter mile. What is the drag? And it's spitting me back all these numbers. And basically what I do is once I have all the cars tuned in the game, I cross-reference all that through every car. So there's a natural progression through the tiers. So once the car is dynoed, that's the next stage. Once the car is dynoed, it gets into the game. It's very raw. It's got power, but the suspension is kind of not tuned, and it's basically just a base setup. From there, I look at what kind of car is it. Is it rear-wheel drive, all-wheel, front-wheel? I put the characteristics into the car. Is it rear-wheel drive? Hey, I make the back end slide a little bit when you have throttle. Is it all-wheel drive? It's very balanced. We have hundreds and hundreds of attributes that I can tune. So I can tune how much differential lock it has in an all-wheel drive car. How much brake pressure it has, how much spring stiffness, shock blow-off, aerodynamics, front weight balance. I can keep going on and on. So this is my passion. I love it. But so basically, car data. Once I input that, get it into the dyno, in-game dyno, then I basically tune all the progression. Debug dyno. From there, I go into the world and start tuning the suspension, making it feel right, and I put my own little flair into it. I've been around Need for Speed a long time, been playing it since I was a little boy, 10 years of Need for Speed. I have a rough idea what you guys want. If it's an action title, if it's an arcade title, if it's more simulation, we can tune whatever way you guys feed back to us. So I put my own little spin on the cars, but that's a quick snapshot. If you guys want to go more into depth on all-wheel drive, front wheel, rear wheel, send me the questions and we'll go into it.
Okay. Cool.
That's a big, broad question. Like I said, spend days on that, but that's been my life for the last decades. So fire away if you guys have any questions.
Send them in, guys. Cool. I like that one. All right, this next question is from Blaze, and he asks, or he or she asks, will there ever be any sort of contest where you can make your own tracks or routes for Team Evade or Team Escape or anything like that, and then we'll put them into the game? This is a great question. We have talked about this. I've talked with the team about it. This is something that we definitely want to do, and I think that you guys should expect to see a contest like that soon. Which is cool. So,
I think
I took the thunder there, but yes, that's a great question.
I think it's a great idea, a great question. As one of our designers, it's very simple. If he has the track map, you guys know what layout you guys would like. For him to implement that track is very quick, and it would be pretty unique to see you guys creating something and then driving it right away. So I love the idea. I think we should get to it, as Drew said,
soon. Yeah. Sweet. All right, next one is from Waveboy to you. And they ask, would it be possible to upgrade our driver with some skill points that will affect all the cars in the warehouse every time that we level up? This is kind of an interesting question. We're not really quite sure what he means here, but the way that we're going to interpret this is there a system that, are we going to put in a system that will give you like an overall kind of skill point level? It's kind of weird. Basically right now the way the skill points work is that the skills that you have do affect all the cars in your garage for that particular driver. I guess you can go into a little bit
more detail.
Basically,
the design of it was meant to be that you create multiple drivers and make those drivers, tuned in different ways. So if you want to create a pursuit driver, you want to create a race and explore, and so the game expands, right? So that's the design, and that's what we're hoping the community wants to go and expand there. So that's the design still.
I don't see that changing anytime soon. So basically the way the skill set is based, or the way the skills work and the skill points is that when you go to make your skills, you should generally plan what you want your driver to be. Is this guy going to be a guy that you're going to be using exclusively for races, and that therefore you should concentrate on those race skills. If you're going to be using it for pursuits, then you should get the ram skills up and the pursuit skills up, the radars and whatnot. And then explore is a little bit of both. Use some skills from both, but then also invest in some explore. So that's the way the skill system works, and I don't think we're going to change it anytime soon. So. Next question is from, actually two people asked me this question, and it's from Godlike and Razor X, so these two people. And this is actually a pretty interesting question because there's a lot of posts on the forums right now as well. And they ask, are you going to add reset skill points button anytime soon? So this is basically, you've added skill points, can you take them away and then reassign your skill points? I think the long and short of that is...
Right now, no. It's not in the plan. I'm not saying that we won't do it. It's just not in the plan right now. Basically, as Drew mentioned before, you put a lot of thought into basically how you want to progress through the game. What type of player are you? Everybody plays differently. I'm the type of guy that no matter what, I always put extended NOS on right away, perfect start right away. I like to be very aggressive through the racing. So. I invest in those right away, and I sort of plan everything else, primary, secondary, and so on and so on. So right now, no. But again, not to say that we would never do it. If the community has a huge outcry, if we have a whole bunch of level 50 drivers that want to swap this and that, something to always think about. Right? Something to maybe have a discussion about, broader than just, it's an idea, let's do it or not, right? It's a deep one that we have to talk about and think about.
It's really interesting, but like right now, guys, you should plan what you want to do ahead. It's like any other MMO is, you can't just randomly go in there and select it, select skills. You should know what you want to be. You should be a racer, a pursuit guy, or a mix of both. That's why you have different drivers right now. You can have a pursuit driver and then have a separate driver that's a race driver. So as of the current design, there's not really a need for that system. But again, this is something that you guys have brought up, so we'll take it to the table and see what we can do. So cool. So that's it for this week. 5 questions, good questions, I actually have to say. So don't forget that if you guys want to go into depth about tuning the cars, we can do that. We might do a couple special episodes or something like that. Don't forget to keep sending me these questions. Post your questions on the forum, on the comments on either the YouTube video or the blog post that I put up. Email me your questions. I'm getting them all, and we got obviously getting some really great questions. So keep them coming, guys. Appreciate that.
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
See you next week.